Morning, dear Sangha. Today is the 17th of April 2014, and we are in the full moon meditation hall of the New Hamlet, starting our spring retreat. A few months ago, Thay said that the beauty of Mother Earth is a bell of mindfulness. It's springtime now, and you can see how beautiful is Mother Earth. And if you don't see it, why? You can see the beauty of spring, of the earth, of Mother Earth, and then happiness will be there right away. But maybe something is blocking the way, preventing you to see the beauty of Mother Earth. Maybe you are looking for something else. And you do not hear the call of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is calling you, saying, "My child, I'm here for you. Everything is for you." And that is true. The sunshine, the flowers, the birds, the clear streams, water, the cherry blossoms, everything is for you, my child. If you don't hear that, because your mind is full of things preventing you from hearing the call of Mother Earth. Not only Mother Earth is beautiful in springtime, she is also beautiful in summer. And in autumn, she is also very beautiful. And in winter, she is also very beautiful. The beauty of Mother Earth is always there for us. And she is telling you that she is there and she loves you. When you hold in your hand a fruit like an orange or a kiwi, you see that this is an offering, a gift of Mother Earth. Every flower is a smile of Mother Earth. She is smiling to you, and you don't want to smile back. Every fruit is a gift to you by Mother Earth, but you do not feel thankful because you are not there. for her. You are not there for life, because Mother Earth is life, and you are part of Mother Earth. So if you hear the bell of mindfulness, the beauty of the earth, you will respond, I'm here, Mother Earth. And the basic condition for you to hear the call of Mother Earth and to respond to her is silence. If you do not have silence in yourself, if your mind, your body is full of noises, and then you cannot hear her call. There is a radio going on in your head, non-stop thinking radio. You are full of noises in your heart, in your mind, and that is why you cannot hear the call of Mother Earth, the call of life, the call of love. Your heart is calling you. But you don't hear. You do not have the time to listen to your heart. With the practice of mindfulness, you'll be able to stop the noise in you. And it is easy enough. A person who does not practice can be pulled away by many things. She can be pulled away by the past, the regret, the sorrow concerning the past. She wants always to go back to the past in order to suffer again and again the suffering of the past. She is caught in the prison of the past. And a person who is anxious, fearful about the future, she is pulled away by the future. Anxiety, fear, uncertainty prevent her to be there in order to hear the call of Mother Earth. So the future becomes a kind of prison. And even in the present moment, you are distracted. You feel you are empty. You feel you have a feeling of vacuum, emptiness in yourself. You long for something. You expect something. You wait for something to arrive to make your life a little bit more excited. You expect something to arrive in order to change the situation, because the situation in the present moment is very boring for you. Nothing special, nothing interesting. But in fact, if you are really there, having the capacity to listen and to look, you see that life is full of wonders. It's not boring at all, and you can enjoy everything, every moment of life. So the practitioner, every time she hears the sound of the bell, she stops. she listened to the bell of mindfulness. And she followed her in-breath, breathing in. I know I am breathing in. She focuses all her attention on the in-breath, and she breathes in mindfully. And while breathing in mindfully, paying attention only to the in-breath, she releases everything. She releases everything. The past, the future, the longing for something. She stopped the thinking, and she may enjoy the in-breath. And in 2 or 3 seconds, she may awaken to the fact that she's alive, she's breathing in. She is there. She exists. She touches the wonders of life. I am here, alive. So stopping thinking about the past, the future, the projects, stopping longing for something. She focuses her attention on her in-breath. She enjoys the fact that she is breathing, she is alive. And then the noises within just disappear. And there is emptiness, the emptiness of sound. Very powerful, very eloquent. And she can answer to Mother Earth, Mother, I'm here. I am free. And you can count on me. I'm here. What does it mean? It means I exist. I am not non-existent. I'm really here because I'm not lost in the past, in the future, in my thinking, in the noises inside and the noises outside. I'm here. And thanks to the practice of mindful breathing, she gets freedom from all the kind of tendencies and noises, and suddenly she feels free to be. In order to be, you have to be free. And free from what? Free from the thinking, free from the anxieties, free from the fear, free from the longing. And so you can hear the call of Mother Earth and you say, Mother, I'm here. As a child of yours, as part of the wonder, I am free. I am free from all these things that prevent me to be and to enjoy myself and to enjoy the world. I am free is a strong statement. Because many of us are not free. We do not have the freedom that allowed us to hear and to see. In Plum village we speak of, and we practice a kind of silence called noble silence. And the practice is easy. Because if we have the silence, the noble silence in us, we are free. We are free to hear the deepest call of our heart. We just finished a very wonderful French retreat. I remember that that day in the upper hamlet, we had lunch together outside, sitting on the grass. We sit in circles. One small circle, and then another circle, another circle, around. Everyone went and served and came and sat down. And he did not say anything. We practiced silence. No one was talking. Thay was the first one who sit down in the inner circle, and he practiced mindful breathing to establish silence in him. And he listened to the birds, to the wind, and he enjoyed the beauty of spring in the upper hamlet. He was not waiting. He was not exactly waiting for others to come and sit down in order to begin eating. He did not spend his time waiting. He sat about 20 or more minutes, and while other people serve and come to join him and sit, there was silence. No one was talking. But that silence is not deep enough, because there may be thinking going on while you serve, while you walk, you hold your plate and you walk. And Thay was sitting there and with silence, and he observes. There was silence, but not the best, because there was some thinking going on in some people who are serving, walking, and sitting down. And then when everyone was seated, they began to invite the bell of mindfulness. And since we have spent 1 week together practicing listening to the bell and breathe in and out mindfully, everyone practiced very well. Right after the first sound of the bell of mindfulness, the silence is quite different. It's the real silence, because everyone stopped thinking. Just focus the attention on the in-breath and breathe in. We breathe together, and no one was thinking anymore. And that kind of silence is a noble silence. And it is a collective silence. It's very powerful. And you can call it thundering silence, because it's very eloquent, very powerful. Silence, but powerful like a thunder. And suddenly you hear the wind and the birds very, very clearly. Against that background of silence, you hear. Before that, you could hear the bird, the wind, but not in the same way, because you did not have the deepest kind of silence. And many of us who are there today, who are here today, remember that moment. It's so wonderful. We were all capable of touching the beauty of spring and hear the voice of Mother Earth calling and saying, I love you. So the practice of silence, in order to empty all kind of sounds within yourself, is not a difficult practice. With some training you can do it. And when you can do it together, it's very powerful, it's very healing. And with the silence you can walk, you can sit, you can enjoy your meal. And when you have that kind of silence, you have enough freedom. To enjoy being alive, to enjoy the wonders of life. With that kind of silence, you are more capable of healing yourself, mentally and physically. You have the capacity to be alive, to be there alive. So you are responding to Mother Earth. I'm here. And I am free. Because you are really free. Free from your regret, your suffering concerning the past. Free from your fear, uncertainty about future. Free from all the kind of noises of thinking in your mind. So the practice of normal silence is possible with some training, especially when you are supported by brothers and sisters in the practice. Silence is not a sound, but it is also a very powerful sound. This winter is not so cold in France, but we hear that it's very cold in North America. Over there they had snowstorms, and from time it went down to minus 20 degrees centigrade. And they saw the image of the picture of the Niagara Falls. The fall stopped falling. It's not the fall anymore, it's frozen. They saw that image. Very impressed. He's very impressed. The fall stopped falling together with the sound. And whatever tree or bush that stand nearby, for the first time they hear a new sound, silence. And they ask, what kind of sound is that? Silence. About 50 years ago, Thay was in Chiang Mai, northeast of Thailand, in a retreat for young people. And it's located in an area called Lotus Sutra, near a very famous temple called Wat Pala. And they was staying in a hut close to a cascade, to a big creek, and always the sound of water falling. And they enjoy bathing, washing his clothes, and taking a nap on big stones in the creek. But always there was that sound of water falling, day and night, the same kind of sound. And they look at the bushes, the trees around, and they said, well, since their birth, they have heard this sound. Suppose this sound stop, and then they will be surprised. And for the first time they hear the no sound, silence. And they wrote a poem, Tiếng không tiếng, the sound of no sound. Unfortunately, the poem is lost, and he cannot recall. That was in 1960 something, 1975, and he cannot recall the poem except the title, Tiếng không tiếng, the sound of no sound. So to imagine that if suddenly the water stopped running, then all these vegetation who had been from their birth to that time, who hear always day and night that kind of sound, they will be very surprised, because the first time, that is the first time in their life that they hear the sound of no sound. And they will ask, what sound is that? So that is why silence is a kind of sound, very strange. And it can be very powerful. This morning we chanted the name of Avalokitesvara, the bodhisattva of deep listening. There is a chapter in the Lotus Sutra about bodhisattva Avalokitesvara. That is chapter 25 of the Lotus Sutra, called the Universal Door. Four monks Samanta Mukha Mukha is the door, the exit. Samanta is universal. And the name of the bodhisattva is Avalokitesvara. And translated in Chinese by Kumara Rajriva Kumalatap as Quang Thế Âm. The one who observe, who meditate, who listen deeply to the sound of the world. That bodhisattva has the capacity to listen to all kinds of sounds. And he can also pronounce the kind of sound that can heal the world. The word here means sound, or voice sound. And in the 25th chapter of the Lotus Sutra, five kinds of sound are mentioned. Diệu âm, wonderful sound. We have a sister here called Tăng Diệu âm. Sound of wonders. The wonders of life are calling you. They are a kind of sound. Do you hear? Do you hear them? Do you hear the sound of the birds, of the rain, etc.? Quang Thế Âm. The sound of the one who observes the world. Phạm âm. The Brahma sound. The Brahma sound has a very long history in Indian Buddhist thought. This is Brahma sound. That is the transcendental sound. And that is a word. That is a word that has the power to create the world. that has a word that has an innate power to convey a particular sense of meaning. And in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, the sound is Om, Om. Like Om in Om Mani Padme Hum. The cosmos, the world, the universe was created by a sound. That is the Brahma sound. Om. You know that in the Gospel, Christian Gospel according to it was the same kind of idea. The beginning of the word is the verb. In the beginning, there was the verb. Au commencement, c'était le verbe. And according to the Vedas, that word, that verb is Om. And that is Brahma word. And according to many schools in the Indian traditions, they agree upon that. And the Purva Mimamsa tradition consider that word Om as the cosmic sound. From Brahma sound is cosmic sound. And the Vedanta consider it to be the ultimate reality, God. The God is a sound. The creator, the cosmos is a sound. Everything begins by the sound. Au commencement, c'était le verbe. And modern science, modern scientists tend to believe the same kind of thing. They have been looking for the beginning of time, the beginning of the cosmos, and they think that the sound that was at the very beginning of the universe is bang. Big Bang. So not only Avalokitesvara can listen to the wonders of life, can listen to the cries, the suffering of the world, but he can listen also to the ultimate reality, the sound. Of the ultimate reality. hai triệu âm. The sound of the rising tide. The sound of the rising tides symbolize the teaching of the Buddha, the voice of the Buddha, very powerful. In Sanskrit, the word for ocean is a sagara, but in the Sanskrit version of the Lotus Sutra, we have the expression Jaladhara. Garita. Garita is the sound. And translated in Chinese as hướng. Hướng, âm hướng. And Jaladhara, it means the big clouds in the sky that bring about the rain. Vâng. Vâng. Vũ. Big cloud, big rain. And it means also đại dương. Great ocean. So the sound of the great ocean. And that is hai triệu âm, the sound of the rising tide. Very powerful. The teaching of the Buddha can destroy a lot of misunderstanding, remove affliction and transform. It's very powerful. There was a movement of renewing Buddhism in China. In 1918. Chinese scholars, including monks and lay people, they come together and they publish a Buddhist magazine called Hai Triệu Âm, to voice the sound of the rising tide. Very beautiful, beautiful title for a Buddhist magazine. So Thay was very influenced by that. Thay was, when he was a novice, attending the Buddhist Institute, he also gathered friends in order to publish a small magazine within Nội Sang, and he used the word tiếng sống means the sound of the rising tide. Tiếng sống. And a group of novices who helped Thay, together with Thay, publishing Tiếng Sống. They have become very old monks. All of them have died, except Thay, and another one is still alive in Huế. He has been invited to Plum several times. He said that I'm too old, I cannot come. Trương Trí, Hòa thượng Trương Trí at Phước Điền Temple. It's him who gave the money in order for us to buy a paper and ink in order to make that magazine. But the ideas promoted by that magazine is so advanced, progressive. That is why we were forbidden to continue. Diệu âm, quán thế âm, phạm âm, hải triều âm, thắng bỉ thế gian âm. The sound that transcends all the sound of the world. Tiếng vượt thoát tiếng đời. And when you think of Avalokitesvara, if you want to meditate on him, and you have to understand him in terms of the 5 kinds of sounds. The wonder, sound of wonders, the sound of the one who observed the world, the ultimate sound of Brahma, the sound of the rising tide, and the sound that transcends all worldly sounds. We know in the Buddhist school of logic, which very close belong to the school of manifestation only, many teachers have been trying to say that the sound is something impermanent. It cannot be the ultimate reality, because it is a conditioned phenomena and not unconditioned. Because in Buddhism we speak about the 2 kinds of phenomena, conditioned and unconditioned. Samskrita and asamskrita, huvi and vovi, and all conditioned dharma are impermanent. Chư hành vô thường. All formations are impermanent. Sarva Dharma, Sarva Samskrita Anitya. Thì sanh diệt pháp, because they are things that have to go through birth and death. So sound is the same. sound cannot be considered to be the ultimate. So according to Buddhist logic, they use also this operation, logical operation, in order to prove that sound is not something permanent. The premise, the thesis is sound is impermanence, thanh thì vô thường. Đây là cái chủ trương. This is the theme. Sound is something impermanent. Why? Nhân, tông nhân. Because it is something, its nature is to be created, to be made. Because its nature is being created, being made. It means that according to our observation, anything is made, anything is created must be impermanent. So if the world is created, the world is impermanent. The sound is something impermanent because its nature is having been created. Example. A pot. A teapot. Or a flower pot. These things, their nature is having been made, created. So one day they will be broken. And because sound is created, that is why sound is also impermanent. So you cannot say that the sound, even that is Om, is the ultimate reality, is the creator. This logic operation called the three limb operation. But we had to quote the Ratnakutta Sutra. In the Ratnakutta Sutra, which is one of the earliest Mahayana Sutra, Bảo Tích Kinh, Đại Bảo Tích Kinh, Ratnakutta, chapter 40, speak about the voice, the word of the Buddha, of the Tathagata. And it is said that the word of the Buddha The word of Avalokitesvara also is first of all Yi Yai. The word of the Buddha is something easy to understand. It's very important because many scholars have made the Buddha's teaching very complicated. So difficult to understand. And that is why if something is too complicated, it's not the sound of the Buddha. Yi means thức. Yi means easy to understand. Yi means thức. Min means clearly. Thức, awareness, consciousness, easy to be recognized. Clearly. Bất cao đại âm. Not too loud. Not big words, not too loud. Too loud, not too loud. Không có ồn ào, not too noisy, not noisy. The sound of the Buddha is not noisy, is not too loud. Phạm Thiên Âm. Phạm Thiên is Brahma, equivalent to this. Hải Triều Âm. The sound of the rising tide. This is Ratnakutta, about Tikkin. Vâng lối âm. The sound of thunder and of the cloud. The cloud can give birth to lightning and thunder. And the cloud represents the ocean. So this silence is thunder. Tùy hư không lượng âm. Hư không is space. Lượng is the capacity. And the sound that follow the capacity of space. It means the sound that can fill the totality of space. Everywhere you are, you find yourself, you hear the sound. Even if you are in prison, you hear the sound, the voice of the Buddha. Even when you are in hell, you can hear the voice of the Buddha. Even if you are in a distant star, you can hear the voice of the Buddha. Nhất thiết. Nhất thiết chúng. Nhất thiết chúng diệu thành tựu. The sound of the realization, thành tựu, of everything that is marvelous. Everything that is marvelous. The sound of the realization of everything that is wondrous. You can achieve enlightenment, you can achieve awakening, you can achieve great compassion, and so on. So that is found in the Ratnakuta Sutra, which is one of the earliest Mahayana Sutra. The Lotus Sutra came later. And we see that the Brahma sound and the sound of rising tide are already existing in this sutra. And you find them again in the Lotus Sutra. When we have been able to still all the noises inside of you, when you have been able to establish silence, the thundering silence in you, you begin to hear the deepest kind of calling from within yourself. Your heart is calling you. Your heart is telling you something. It's trying to tell you something, but you have not been able to hear what your heart is trying to tell you, because your mind is full of noises. You are pulled away always, day and night. You are full of thoughts, and especially negative thoughts. In our daily life, we spend most of the time looking for comforts. material comforts and affective comforts in order to merely survive. And that takes all our time. And these belong to what we call the daily concern. Daily concerns. We are preoccupied with our daily concerns. How to have enough money, how to have enough food, shelter, salary, material comforts. That is our daily concern. And beside our concerns for material comfort, we also need affective concerns. Whether he loves you or she wants to still supporting you, and you worry all day because of that kind of question. So looking for someone to rely on, you depend on him, on her, and you are trying to have a kind of relation that is good enough to survive, not too difficult, not too difficult a relationship, and you spend 99.9% of your time worrying about these things called daily concerns about material comforts and affective concerns. But the deepest concern in you, you have not seen it, you have not heard it, and that is the ultimate concern. And every one of us has an ultimate concern that has nothing to do with material concern and affective concerns. What do we want to do with our life? And that is the question. You are there, but why you are there? Who are you? What do you want to do with your life? So all these questions, you don't have the time to answer. Who are you? Have you had the time to answer that question? That is a very big question. Where do you come from? Why are you there? What do you want to do with your life? These are not just philosophical questions, because if we are not able to answer them, and then we do not have peace, and we do not have joy and happiness. Because no joy, no happiness is possible without some peace. And many of us are ignorant about these kind of things. And yet we say that we can never answer these questions. But with meditation, with mindfulness and concentration, you can see. You can see with your own eyes. You can hear with your own ears. Provided that you have some silence within. Provided that you have enough room, and then you can find out the truth about these questions. And hear the deepest call of your heart. What do you really want? Not a comfortable life, material life. Not to have a not too difficult relationship. That's not enough. You want something else, deeper. You have a deepest desire, but you do not know what the desire is. Your deepest desire is not to have a lot of money, no. Not to have fame, big fame, or power, or sex. These are not your biggest desire. And your heart will tell you what is your deepest and biggest desire, your ultimate concern, not your daily concern. So when you ask the question, who are you? If you have enough time and concentration, and then you can see that you are a continuation of your ancestors. Just by simple observation, you might obtain the answers. It's easy to see that you are a continuation of your parents. Your parents and your ancestors are fully present in every cell of your body. You are their continuation. You do not have a separate self. If you remove your ancestors and your parents out of you, there is no you left. And you see that you are made of elements like water. You are made of water. If you remove water from you, there is no you left. You are made of earth. If you remove an element of earth out of you, there is no you left. You are made of air. And you need air desperately. Without air, you cannot survive. So the element of air in you, if you remove it, there is no you left. And the element of heat, the element of light in you. You know that you are made of light. Without light, without the sunshine, nothing can grow on earth. And you have nothing to eat. And you see that Father Sun is a source of life. Father Sun is a source of food. And you consume Father Sun every moment. Without Father Sun, Mother Earth cannot be beautiful as she is. And you are a son of the sun. You are a daughter of the sun. And you find out who you are. You know that you are a continuation of your ancestors. You are a son, a child of the earth. You are a child of the sun. And in you, Mother Earth, Father Sun can be found in you. You are Father Sun. You are Mother Earth. And these things are not speculation because you can touch the truth by yourself. You are made of elements like air. water, earth, and light. And consciousness manifests itself as the cosmos. And if you continue to look, you see that you are made of the sun. The sun is one of the biggest stars in the galaxy. And you know that the earth, as well as yourself, is made of the stars. So you are the star. On a clear night, you look up and you can see that you are the stars above. You are not just this tiny little physical body. So meditation is to have the time to still yourself, to establish silence in order for you to look deeply, in order to find out who you are and what do you want to do with your life. In the teaching of the Buddha, we speak about 4 kinds of nutriments, 4 kinds of food. First of all, edible food that you eat every day. And then sense impressions. And you consume with your eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. You consume all the things. Internet is one of the things you consume. Newspapers, movies, conversations. All these are not edible food, but you consume every day. You consume and then the second source of nutriment is sense impression. The third source of nutriment is volition. Volition is your desire, your concern. And you know that beside the daily concern, you have an ultimate concern. You have a deep desire. You want to realize something with your life. You don't just try to survive. You want to realize something. That is the third source of nutriment. Maybe your desire is to help people to suffer less. Your desire to help Mother Earth to be preserved. Your desire is to help people to suffer less. And many of us have that kind of desire in us, spending our time of life in order to help people suffer less. And when people suffer less, we suffer less. When people know how to experience joy and peace and happiness, you experience joy, peace and happiness. So if we have the time, you sit down and look and recognize the deepest core of your heart. Your heart is telling you what to do with your life, so that your life has a meaning, so that true happiness and joy be possible, and not just trying to survive materially and affectively. So the silence within, the silence of noises within, is the precondition for you to recognize your deepest desire, deepest volition. Because the third source of nutriment is volition, your deepest desire, your ultimate concern. And the fifth desire is consciousness. Because if you have consumed a lot of negative elements, and then you will produce negative elements for yourself. And you are eating your own consciousness. Suppose you are producing ideas, thoughts that are negative. Negative thinking. Because you have consumed so much of these things as consciousness. When you are surrounded with people who have a lot of sadness, fear, anger, anxiety, pessimism, you consume. And your consciousness is full of these negative things. And when you produce thoughts and ideas that are negative, you are consuming your own consciousness. And you are consuming the collective consciousness of a group of people. If you happen to live with a group of people who are full of anger and fear and pessimism and despair, that collective energy is not very healthy. You have consumed. That is why now your thinking is full of negativity. And that is because of the fourth kind of nutriment. But when you hear the voice of the Buddha, the voice of bodhisattvas, full of compassion, full of understanding and love, and you hear the voice, the calling of Mother Earth, full of patience, full of love, and then you consume. You consume wholesome elements of life. You consume the wonders of life. You consume the sound of the rising tide. You consume the sound of the ultimate. And then one day you begin to offer positive thinking, positive talking that will help heal you and heal the world. When you produce a thought full of pessimism, a thought full of anger and fear and hate, that thought produced by yourself will harm you, destroy your health, and will help destroy the health of the world. That is called wrong thinking. But in the teaching of Buddha, you practice right thinking, producing only thoughts that can heal you and heal the world. The thoughts that have the element of understanding and compassion. So you have to learn how to nourish yourself with compassion and understanding, so that you can produce thoughts of understanding and compassion. When you hear Dharma talk by the Buddha, you consume understanding, you consume compassion. And if you consume every day these healthy food, and then one day you will stop producing negative thoughts. You produce thoughts in the line of understanding and compassion, called right thinking. And together with right thinking, there is right speech and right action. And these kind of things have the power to heal you and heal the world. That is why if it happens that you are always pessimistic, if you always think and speak in terms of anger or hate or despair, because you have consumed too much of these things. So the fifth mindfulness training is about mindful consumption. You don't hear, you don't look. You do not consume the things that are toxic, full of fear, anger, hate. When you go to the internet, you know that there are plenty of good things on it, and there are a lot of toxic things in it. So the internet is a source of nutriment, a source of consumption. When you read magazines, novels, watch televisions, you consume. And you know that practicing the fifth mindfulness training, you will not consume the things that have toxins and poisons. So you know that if you have the tendency and habit of thinking negatively because you have consumed in such a way that have empoisoned your consciousness. And that is why practicing the fifth mindfulness training, you begin to refrain from consuming the wrong thing. You begin to consume only the right things that nourish the element of understanding and compassion in you, and you get the healing that you need, and you are in a position to heal yourself and help heal the world. And suddenly you see that your life has a meaning that is about volition. If you can hear the voice of Mother Earth calling you, and then you don't want to run anymore. You have been running and looking for something because you think that that something you are looking for is very crucial for your peace and your happiness. You demand to have that condition and that condition in order for you to be happy. And you believe that you do not have enough conditions to be happy right now. And that is the habit or energy of running that many people have. I cannot be peaceful now. I cannot be joyful now. I cannot enjoy it now because I need more conditions. So you are demanding. But Mother Earth shows you that in the present moment they are full of wonders, the sound of wonders. And if you can be there and free, you can be happy right here and right now. You don't have to run anymore. But you are not capable of listening to the call of Mother Earth, to the call of your heart, because you are full of noises, and you are carried away by that kind of noises in you. That is why you cannot hear yourself. You cannot hear the voice of Mother Earth calling you. And that is why the practice of Plum relation can be described as very simple. The practice of mindful breathing, the practice of mindful walking help you to enjoy the here and the now in every moment. All the wonders of life are already there, they are calling you. And if you hear them, you can stop running and you begin to enjoy the wonders of life. Diệu âm, the sound of wonders. Your body is a wonder. The tree standing outside is a wonder. The sunshine is a wonder. Springtime is a wonder. And yet you cannot get in touch. There is a Vietnamese poet who say, spring has come. All the flowers are trying to open. How about your heart? Why don't you let your heart to open like other flowers and be happy right here and right now? And what we did is silence. Stop the noise in your heart in order for the wondrous sounds of life to be heard, and we begin to live our life properly and deeply.